Good, beautiful morning, everybody. Welcome to Wednesday, December the 7th, 2022. It's a brand new day in your life right now. And I have with me the energy of Ascended Master Kuthumi, who wants to illustrate that there are only two paths. There are only two paths that we can choose from. And many people are not understanding this. They think that there are more than two paths, but there are only two paths. And we're going to get into that in just a moment. I want to say good morning to everybody. My name is William Michael Forbes. I'm a spiritual medium, a channel, and an intuitive life coach. And this is our program, Shortcuts for Your Soul, where we try to bring through the messages and information of ascended masters, archangels, multidimensional beings that are here to help manifest the expression of love through the collective unconsciousness of humanity. Both individually and as a collective, we can learn to express love. The purpose for that being that love is a perpetuator of life, whereas fear is a diminisher of life. And we, at this time in our collective history, have this huge polarity between good and evil on the planet, love and fear, you could say. Those that are good are functioning from the path of love, and those who are living in fear are functioning or for fear are living on a path of fear. But you can only choose one of those two, love or fear. There's no other choice. Good morning. Good morning, Hassan. Good morning, Carolyn. Good morning, Christopher. And so it comes to our attention that there is a real huge push right now to cause humanity to collectively stay in fear, because chaos is the energy, fear is the energy that these lower vibrational entities love, and they are quite pervasive in our collective unconsciousness right now through the manipulations of information and ideas. They have lured a lot of people into fear and into need and into want, whereas love does not present us with the concern of need or want, as love functions in a very different way than fear does. Love functions in such a fashion that you are able to establish a function of behavior that allows you to create and manifest all that you need, want, and desire within the framework of love. Within the framework of love. For you can have needs and wants and desires that are not in the framework of love. And you can see illustrated by the hoarding of certain groups around the planet that have great, great abundance at the expense of those that serve them. They tell me that a lot of the political unrest you're seeing is the outpicturing of these two great forces of love and fear on the planet right now. But we have the opportunity to individually choose. And when you individually choose love over fear, you align yourself to a different energy. He's saying that it's very difficult for a lot of people to choose because the sensations of your body can override your reason. And they understand this. The darkness understands that your sensations, when stimulated sufficiently enough, can override your reason unless your reason is so well established that no manipulation can work upon you, that no manipulation can work upon you if your reason is properly established. But for those of you that have been placed in social and economic positions of hunger and fear, it is you that are being manipulated the most by these individuals that are seeking to manipulate and control for the sake of their own aggrandizement, for the sake of their own authority over you. They will stop at nothing to secure the power and authority that they wish. But know this: if you hear the words of love, they will steer you in a very direction than will the words of fear. The words of fear will inspire you to love and honor yourself and those around you. The words of love will cause you to covet and want and resent others for their achievements, for what they have. Know that the expressions and thoughts, the sensations of fear are very different than the thoughts and actions of love. You can only choose one of these two, but there is only those two choices. You cannot make a choice that is not in alignment with who you are choosing to be. For you are given free will to choose whether you will live in love or in fear. You are given free will to choose whether you are in love or you are in fear. And every action, every thought that you perform will serve the function of establishing love or fear in your world, both individually and collectively. There are many of us here now with you to assist you in the elevation of your consciousness. If you are willing to turn your attentions away from your fear, away from your sadness, towards love, to know that in you, yourself, your being, fundamentally, you are love. To consider the possibility that your sense of well-being is not wholly determined by what you achieve in the physical world, but by the very nature of what you are. If you can contemplate that you are love, consider that possibility, that it is not something that you must seek from the world, but something that was established within you by that which made you. You are love. This is the fundamental truth that cannot be denied. Even if you would choose to go to darkness, that truth would still remain evident. Although you would be blinded from knowing that, you would not see it, you would not hear it, you would not live it. But the fundamental truth that you are love, if you can contemplate that is what you are, not something to be sought or acquired from the world, then you will begin a very different pathway for your life. It gets easier when you begin to understand the true nature of what you are. Choices made from love, thoughts given birth from love, are very different than those that are born of fear. The actions of love, the function of love is very different than the function of fear. And if you can but listen very carefully to your own mind, to be sure that your mind is released of all fear, to allow yourself to be free from what the world has given you, to restore yourself to the divinity that is your natural state. But you have free will to choose whether you will function as that which is divine or that which is of fear. But know this, those choices will lead to very, very specific results, not only for the sake of your own body, but also for the sake of all those around you. Your choices become very important at this time. And if you're able to articulate them deliberately and intelligently, you will begin to manifest the nature of what you are. And it will be in opposition to fear, for love is in opposition to fear, but does not fight it, does not attack it. It simply just expresses itself as what it is. And the function of love naturally and spontaneously conditions and trains all manifestations of fear into an expression that cannot conflict with love. You must understand your nature. You can only choose to function from love or fear. There are no other choices. And in any moment, in any thought that you exist in, those choices remain with you always. What is your choice today? What is your choice today? Is your choice love? What is your choice this moment? Is it love? What is your choice? For you can make that choice now and stay with it, live with it. Let that which is in your heart be enacted through love, and let that which is fear be placed aside. He's also saying that there are a lot of dark forces on the planet right now. They thrive and survive on your fear. They thrive and survive on your doubt. They thrive and survive on your anger and your need and your want. If you really understand what you need, then only have what you need. If you understand what you want, but only have what you want, do not take more than you need or more than you want, and you shall stay in alignment, out of reach of the hands, the words of evil. The time is getting very, very close where you will see the change that you cannot deny when you look in the sky, that it has changed, that there are events unfolding between these two great forces of love and fear. You are seeing them outpictured before you in the events of time and space in the world around you. It is important that you make your own decision for your decision, and the vibration that you choose to align yourself will fully determine what your effect and what your cause will be. What you will sow, you will reap. There is no escaping this. And you are even this right now. You are reaping exactly what you sow in this moment by the very nature of what you think, what you say, and what you do, what you believe. These can only be of love or fear. We encourage you to become mindful and evaluate what you would say and what you would do and what you would think about yourself or the others around you, to become mindful of this, for you will establish in your life love or fear by this. There is no other way. You must choose one or the other. You cannot serve them both. And you cannot go back and forth. This is very confusing, to go back and forth. You must choose one or the other. It will become very evident to you. And some of the ways they talk about this, yes, for your body, like what you do for your body. Do you love your body? Do you truly love your body? It's an instrument that was given to you. It's a gift that was given to all of us. What do you do to demonstrate love to your body? Do you take care of it? Do you keep it clean? Do you keep it healthy? Do you keep it strong? Do you feed it properly? Are you treating it with love? Because what you do to the body, you do with either fear or love. Look at what you do. Are you living in fear or living in love? This becomes very important to understand this, that everything you would place in your body is of love or fear. Every food that you would place in your body is either love or fear. Ask yourself, is this food of love? Is this food of love? What will you do with your body? Do you place it to its full use? Do you use it to its full measure? Do you use it with great respect and regard? It is simply a vehicle that you are here to use. It is not who you are. There are going to be huge changes coming upon this planet. They can be of only two ways, love or fear. You are seeing them both now with your own eyes and hearing them with your own ears, but be careful of what you would give your ear to and what you would give your eye to. Be very mindful of what you give your ear to and what you give your eye to. Make certain that what you give your ear to is of love. Make certain what you give your eye to is of love. But do not allow those that live in fear to impose their fear upon you. Turn off your systems through which they tell you to be afraid. Turn off these devices that you have made which were made in all goodness to elevate you, but are currently being used for other purposes. But watch what you give your eye and your ear to, for it can only be of love or fear. Watch what you give your eye and ear to, for it can only be of love or fear. If it is of fear, turn it off, turn away, walk away. If it is of love, pay heed to the words that would say to you, you are of the light. You are divinity, seeking to manifest and unfold yourself in your most noble expression of compassion and kindness, playfulness and curiosity, excitement, diversity, respect and honor. Understand the manifestation of your love is very different than the manifestations of fear. And your divinity is a manifestation of love. And you can enact your divinity as a manifestation of love by becoming mindful of what you would give your attentions to. Know this, that much of what you think in your own mind, you must become very discerning about it, for they have given you much to think about that is useless and destructive. It is important you understand much of what you have been given to think about is useless and destructive, and it becomes very important for you to recognize that, to reject that which is useless and destructive. Pay no heed to the fears that they would have you pay attention to, for that will weaken you. They will try in greater measures ways to control you and manipulate you and keep you in greater fear. But understand this, the words of love are soothing and kind and bring smiles upon the faces of those it reaches. The functions of love do this. The functions of fear do not do this. And you can see in your cities where there is love or where there is fear. You can see where they work all around you. They are surrounding you with their fear, but you are an island of love. There are great islands of love upon this earth. They are growing stronger and stronger by the moment. They are being reinforced by the divine hierarchy and many other beings from other realms of consciousness that have come here to join you because of the call that you issued forth to be assisted in your endeavor to manifest your divinity. Whereas it becomes very easy with these dark ones, to recognize the distinction between them and yourselves. Love will always bring a smile. Love will always heal. Love will always be good. And again, this term good is relative to the experience of what that is that serves life, ennobles it, and raises it up. Open your eyes and your ears to love only. Turn away from the words of those that would have you fear. Turn away from them. Heed them not. Pay no attention to them, for they would have you submit to their audaciousness and their wickedness and their anger and their fear. They would have you submit to that, and they would even have you carry that out for them. And many of you, in your innocence, have simply complied without understanding the functions of fear, are very, very secretive in how they insinuate themselves into your life. The illusion of safety is often used as a means to stimulate a mechanism by which they can offer you the elixir of fear, the elixir of fear and submission. Understand, there is no one that is in a state of love that would ever ask you to submit to them. There are none in a state of love that would ever ask you to submit to them. They would seek to lift you and elevate you to your highest expression of yourself. This is what they would do, those that are in love. They will seek to elevate you to your divinity. They would not force you to submit to anything other than the upliftment of your own consciousness to its highest expression of good. Whereas those that live in fear and darkness would have you submit to their will, to their ideas, to their beliefs. And they would have you be in fear. They would have you hide and cower. It becomes very easy to understand the distinction between love and fear and how to choose one or the other. Pay no heed to the mouth of fear. Pay no heed to the actions of anger and frustration. Align yourself to the vibrational state of love and pay attention to those that would elevate you up. And when we say elevate you up, we do not mean to provide you with great wealth and great power and great control. That is not what we mean. Those that ennoble you in the expression of your love would seek for you to find your purpose, your meaning, and your value in the expression of your consciousness and its relationship to how it impacts all others in good and righteous ways. For this is what happens. Love empowers the receiver of it, the liver of it, the being of it, to uplift, inspire, and grow life, not to diminish it. There are many things that need to be said that cannot be said in this short period of time. But needless to say, it is important you begin to make a distinction between fear and love in your own mind first. For that is where they seek to enslave you first, through your mind, through your thoughts, through their beliefs that they would offer you, through their mass media mechanisms, through their espousements on the pedestals of politics. They seek to control and manipulate you. Be very wary of them. Pay close attention to what they would say, for what they should say is that you are beautiful and wonderful, and what is it that can be done to uplift you. They would seek to find the ways of what you need, not to tell you what they think you need. You can see their manipulations. They have reached a place and point in their boldness now that they're wholesalely going out and stealing from you, taking your children, taking your money. This is what is happening. And you see it before your eyes, and all of you know this, but you would still choose to listen to love or fear. Which would you choose? You can only choose one or the other. Choose the vibration of love. Be mindful of they who would guide you from their pedestals, from the great halls of politics. There are very few left in those great halls that would seek to restore love, but they are there and they need your support. Look for those in authority that live and honor and respect the law and expression of love. Look for those in authority that live in love and the expression of it. Yes. So he's also saying that the manifestation of love can happen very quickly, but it requires that each of you become willing to turn your attention away from fear and align yourself directly to love. It will become very obvious what is love and what is not love. It becomes very obvious what is love and what is not love. And although you may be burdened by your suffering because of what has been given to you by those that would seek to have you suffer, you may be unburdened easily if you choose to understand that you can change your function from fear to love. You have the free will to do so. And while there are many difficulties, especially for those ones that have been the most trusting, which is very unusual that you would see that the people that are most trusting are suffering the most. Those that are the least of you are the most trusting. And they suffer and thrive as best as they can in the illusion of love that has been perpetuated to them by your authorities, who simply fill their pockets, who gather up stores in their own barns while you would go hungry. Awaken yourself to them. Give not to them. Yes, they are few and you are many. It is time to awaken yourself. There are only two paths that you can choose from. One is love and one is fear. What would you choose? What would you choose now? Wow. Thank you so much. Good morning, everybody. Yeah, this is a very unusual stream today. No, let's get rid of that. Spamming. Okay, good morning. I'm just getting up. We can do some Q&A now. So this, when he came in this morning and said there's only these two paths, he's absolutely right. We don't have any other choice other than love or fear. Those are the only two choices that we're going to have. And I had no idea that this was going to flow the way it did today, but it does. And it's very different to have this kind of information coming through, because it sounds to me like he's being very urgent. And usually Master Kuthumi's energy is very different than that, but there's a sense of urgency that's building up right now between what we see happening on the earth. There's this energy building up. Anyway, let's take a few questions. CG is asking on TikTok, do I see any clarity for our future? Yes, in that you are able to choose love over fear and withstand the forces of darkness that would seek to have you surrender your love and your goodness. Yes, there will be much clarity. There will be a great, there is a great awakening right now, but there will be something even greater still that is happening. Before your very eyes, it is happening. But yeah, I do see a new earth unfolding, but one based in love, not in fear. But they say all the galactics, the ascended masters, they say saying that we as humans have to make the decision collectively. And right now we're collectively they say we're more collectively leaning towards fear right now, because that's the mark of darkness on this planet is fear. They use fear to control and manipulate. That this vibration of fear is so prevalent in human collective unconsciousness that it's affecting time, space, and matter very specifically. It's one of the reasons why the poles are moving out of balance. The central part of the Earth's, the soul star, the Earth actually moved off its center. And this is because we've literally moved off center. We've moved away from love towards fear. So we are collectively affecting time, space, and matter with our collective energy of more dominantly fear. But they're telling me the movement now is to shift human collective unconsciousness from fear back to love. And that process is well underway. There are many groups, many beings from many dimensions arriving here that are here and have been here for over 300 years, assisting humanity deliberately in shifting away from the controls of fear back to the manifestations of love. But it must be consciously choosing. Light will not force you to choose love. Darkness will force you to choose fear. But light will never force you to choose love. You must choose it of your own volition, love or fear. And this is how your collective species has the opportunity to ascend to a higher expression of itself than the one you currently know. Wow, thank you so much. Yes, they do. Let's see here. Thank you so much, Hassan. A question from Tanya. I tried to connect with Archangel Jophiel and I do see yellow. Can I get a message from her? She's saying that she's saying that there's something that you've just conceived. I don't know what she's referring, but she's saying it's like a little egg that you have to nurture it very carefully. Whatever this you have just conceived in your life. I almost want to say it's like a child, but I don't know. But she's saying this thing that she's conceived is very important that she understand. She must nurture it very carefully in the beginning until it is born. I'm getting very strong. There's an idea that you have just thought of doing with your life, a new conception, a new idea that needs to be nurtured very, very carefully. She's saying, be very excited, for know that your decision will bear fruit. Your decision will bear fruit. And this decision is in relation to this thing that you've just conceived of. Again, I don't know what it is. It feels to me like almost like the yolk of an egg is what I'm being shown. Like it's like a new seed, a new egg, a new idea. And she says that you need to nurture it really, really carefully. Wonderful, thank you. Question from Animo. I awakened and was reborn 5 years ago. I was made aware of the dark ones and my discernment. I have shared your messages and been condemned for those of us with eyes to see what is our purpose. He's smiling at you, like he's giving you this big, radiant, armed, open smile, and he's saying, there is but love. There is but the path of love, and its reward is itself. It is not one of what you will seek to acquire, but something that you actualize. Be that which you seek, and there will be no need to know what your purpose is. The purposes of love are defined by its actions. And if you are in alignment with love, then what you will say and what you will do with your hands, with your mind, will be very different than what you would say or do. The purpose of love becomes formulated, manifested as you live in that function. Live in the function of love in thought, in word, in deed. Have no concern for those that would seek to tell you, that love is wrong. They themselves are lost in fear. Have pity for them. Have compassion for them. But offer your word where ears will hear. Offer your word where ears will hear. And eventually you will find that there are many who are seeking to hear the words of love, to know its actions again. There is so much confusion because of the fear upon this planet today that many of you are having difficulty to know, who am I? What am I to do? But we can say this: one thought, one act, one moment at a time. If you from love come, you will find your purpose. You will find your purpose through love, whether it be a paintbrush or a soft word, or to be a mother or to be a father. The functions of love are very different than the functions of fear. And the functions of love are plentiful and bountiful. You shall not hunger in love. Wow. It's a great question. Thank you so much. You're very welcome, One Love. Thank you so much. Question from Nancy. What will help my son with his depression? Any messages from Spirit? Well, first, let us take a moment here to send to your son the vibration of love. It will do him great service if you ameliorate your fear. Do not let your fear determine your expression. Your concern will diminish him. Your concern from fear will diminish him. But what you can offer him is to offer solace. Teach him to offer solace to his depression. Teach him to honor and respect that part of himself that feels this way. In our master classes, which are the channeled works from these ascended masters, we have a set of 4 master classes where they're all channeled lessons from ascended masters. And one of the things they've taught us to do is they taught us to, when you feel an emotion of depression inside, you can actually turn to a negative emotion inside yourself. And the minute you become aware of a negative emotion, you immediately put yourself into a different position in consciousness. And from that position of consciousness, you have the authority to alter and change your energy. In the case of depression or anxiety, the moment you turn to it and you say to it, because what most people tend to do, most people, when they feel anxious or depressed, want to get rid of those feelings. They want to get rid of it, So they use drugs or pills or diversion or something else to get rid of those emotions. But they said, no, that's not the way to do it. They said, you approach the emotion with love. You speak words of love and compassion to it. And the words that they often have us say is, no matter what I've thought or felt or believed about you, I love you, even if I do not understand you. To actually have your son communicate to his depression that I'm willing to love you, even if I don't understand you. Those simple words, they're saying those would be the simplest words to give your son. To turn to his depression and say, I'm willing to love you, even if I do not understand you. And you do the same also to his depression. Be willing, I love you, even if I do not understand, but let your love be sincere. let his love be sincere. Make certain that the internal tone of voice that he uses is sincere. So you say to the depression, I'm with you. I love you. I will not abandon you. And you will watch upon your son's face what happens if he speaks those last three sentences. I'm with you. I love you. I will not abandon you. And be very conscious of how he shifts or changes, and have him become aware of how his depression responds to those thoughts. Make sure that he's aware of how his depression responds to those thoughts. I'm with you. I love you. I will not abandon you. Any change he feels will give an indication to both him and you that it's through your conscious interaction with your emotions that you can make changes. Most people try to change the emotion as the emotion. It won't work. You have to extend love. Love is the answer. It always is the answer here. Thank you so much, Nancy, for that question. Let's come down here. See if anybody's on TikTok here. Got a message. Where's your question, darling? Are you allowed to ask the galactic questions? If so, just ask if it's true. Yes, you can ask questions. That's why this is here. They're here. I'm just a medium. I just allow information to flow through me. There is a quantum field, levels of consciousness and awareness that we cannot see with our eyes or hear with our ears, but they exist. They're real. The ascended masters are real. The galactics are real. Multidimensional beings are real, and you can tap into their knowledge and information and let it come through you. It's important. There's no stupid questions, not at all. So someone's asking, will I meet my soulmate in the new year? I've been on a heading and self-love journey. Yes, you can, because this is really important. What this lady's asking for is really important. So she's on a journey of love, right? On the journey, you will meet that love that you are being. This one that you are seeking is likewise doing the same. You will know them because they will have words that are like your words. They're saying to tell you 9 months. In 9 months, they're saying it's possible that can occur sooner if you are deeply connected to the essence of your love. But let us explain to you that it's important that you do not use your love as a means of trying to acquire what you want, but allow yourself to be in love and let that love establish what it is in your life. And this one will be that which it is. Yes, it'll happen. Stay on the path, on your journey of love. Be in that. It's gonna be a fun meeting when it happens, but it'll be within 9 months. That's gonna happen. But don't let your love be something you try to capture them with. Just be in the vibration of your love, and that which is in alignment with you shall come to you. That which is in alignment with your love will come to you. Have faith in this. This is the law. This is what happens. Love attracts what love is. Fear attracts what fear is. The law works for either equally. Wonderful. Thank you so much. Great question. Wonderful. Good new follower. Hi there. I would love to know, somebody's asking, Sadie's asking, I would love to know what is for me this coming new year. Okay, they're telling me to tell you can you bring yourself to joy and be in your joy? For we can assure you that what shall come shall be joy. Be of a joyful heart and a happy spirit. And there is an inevitability of what will come to you from this. There is an inevitability for what comes to each man, what comes to each person upon this planet is in direct relation to the general state of being that they exist in. And if you are in love, then you will experience that coming to you. And if you are in fear, you will experience that coming to you. Let your heart be happy. Keep your attention on love. Keep your attention on love as a vibration. And they tell me this too. They say every single human being on the planet has their own understanding of what love is as a feeling. And it's that feeling of love that you know inside yourself that if you were to feel love what would it feel like in your body? At that point, you start to become a generator of that experience in your life. And it can be very difficult for some people to be in love, especially if you're suffering, or if you're hungry, you're living on the streets, or you're dealing with addiction. Awakening love can be really difficult, but I can promise you this: love is what you are. You will not find it in the stuff of the world. It's already what you are. Love is what you are as a being, as an awareness, as a soul. It's what you are. And when you start to reflect on that possibility, which is where he started us today, is reflect on the fact that you are love, that it's not something that you're going to get from out there, but that vibration of being what you are as love will cause you to think and say and do things very differently than does fear, right? Fear is the belief that you are less than what you are. Fear is to think that you are less than love. But understand, if you realize that love is your true nature, then what you will say and what you will do will be very different than what you say and what you do from your fear. Yes. Anyway, there's a lot of people being awakened right now. We got some wonderful souls here that are transmitting all kinds of love to everybody here. I'm so grateful. I want to put this up on the screen from Holly Gleason. There is nothing to fear. There is a highest timeline of the Aquarian age that is guaranteed. We are trying to get as many people as possible to choose it. A rescue mission. This is the harvest. Literally, it is. The vibrational manifestation of love must be consciously chosen by each individual. There is great seduction on the planet from conventional systems like radio, newspapers, politicians, leaders in great authority that are teaching people to be afraid. Love is not based in fear at all. Love would not ever tell you to fear. Love would tell you to have faith and hope. It wouldn't tell you to be afraid and go run and hide in your home for 2 years. Love would never tell you to do that. Love would say, look, the divine is all around you. You are love. It's what you are. It would never tell you to be afraid. Know this. I keep telling me that pay attention to what they're saying, to what you watch, to what you hear. Learn to pay very close attention to it. Thank you so much, Holly. You're very welcome, Nancy. We have time for one more question, and we're going to call it a day. I'm going to Master Jesus will be coming through on Friday, and he wants to talk about the path. That'll be this Friday with Master Jesus on Shortcuts for Your Soul. He wants to talk about the path, and he's using those words very specifically. Tell them it's time that I tell them about the path. He says, for some of you, the statement, straight is the gate and narrow is the way, will resonate with you. But yes, on Friday, come and join us with Master Jesus on the path. Patrons, I'm looking forward to tonight's Patrons Live event. We will be going live at 7 p.m. You all have the Zoom link sent to you through the Patreon interface. So I'm looking forward to seeing everybody there. Last question here. Sadie is saying on TikTok, I wish I knew what would bring me joy. I am struggling. Sadie, that's understandable. Can we explore that with you a bit? Just hear us for a moment. Sit your body down and just take a slow deep breath. Like take a slow deep breath and fill your lungs completely. And as you exhale, give your body permission to relax. Whenever you exhale the breath, you're giving your body permission to relax on each exhale. So just gently and slowly breathe deeply in. And as you exhale, let your body relax. And as you're doing that, I want you to identify where in your body is your sadness. Is your sadness in your head? Is it in your chest? Is it throughout your whole body? Identify where you can observe the sadness most in your body. And turn your attention to that place. And to your sadness, offer these thoughts to your sadness. I'm with you. I love you. I will never abandon you, even if I do not understand you. and repeat those words to your sadness and feel how the sadness responds. I'm with you. I love you. I will never abandon you, even if I do not understand you. And be aware of how your sadness responds to you. And if you have a moment, please place a comment in the comment section based on what your experience is so that others understand the power that each and every one of you has to change your emotions, your thoughts in your consciousness through an act of your own love, who you are. You are a soul. You are not the thoughts that you think. You are not the emotions you feel. You are not the body you have, but they are all instruments that you use in the function of creation. You are an awareness, a divine entity, a soul that can learn to utilize thoughts, utilize the creation of emotional energies to articulate a creative expression through the physical body, but it is not who you are, your thoughts. Learn to make that distinction between your thoughts, your emotions, your body, and your awareness so that you can begin to run your house. When you become aware that you are not your thoughts, you are not the emotions, you are not the body, you understand that this is the house that you inhabit. Your mind, your emotions, your body are the house that you inhabit. And you are now able, once you are aware, you can come into the house and you can begin to reorganize it, to clean it up, because you've had many ideas and much information put into your mind that does not suit who you are, that are in conflict with your true nature. You've been given ideas about yourself from the world that are not true, ideas that cause confusion and uncertainty, that are unnecessary. But only you can begin to articulate that change unless you continue to listen to the words of those that would have you live in their fear. Seek out love in all of its forms. Thank you for that, Sadie. Yes, that's normal. So what Sadie's saying is she's communicating those words to the sadness, and tears are starting to come. Master Buddha says there's three great releases: great laughter, great sex, and great tears, the way to release tension from the body. In the process of what she's doing, she's feeling the part that's sad expressing itself to her. It's being relieved. And Sadie, if you stay with that, stay in that state, no matter how the sadness feels, just say, I'm willing to love you, even if I don't understand you. You stay and repeat those words with it. You'll continue to feel it transform and liberate from your body, because everything within you is under the domain of your authority. Everything in your mind, your emotions, your body are designed to be under your authority, not you under theirs. So offer your love to your sadness and you will experience great relief. So be patient with that, Sadie, and thank you so much for articulating that expression. It's just quite wonderful. Yes, wonderful. So, guys, I want to say have a wonderful day. Join me on Friday with Master Jesus, where he's going to be discussing the concept of the path. And it's based on the concept in Christian mythology, where they talk about straight is the gate and narrow is the way to the kingdom of love, because that's what heaven is. Heaven is the full manifestation of love and an expression through the individuals that exist in that consciousness. I want to say, have yourselves a wonderful and a joyful day, and I will look forward to seeing you guys on Friday on Shortcuts for Your Souls Friday edition. Bye, everybody. Take care. Oh, hang on. I'm still trying to coordinate